we should address the statements that Khloe Kardashian made this week.
This is a good topic because, again, I love that we're not going to be the, I guess, super feminist ladies that I guess a lot of people would assume from an all-woman podcast.
I'm still a feminist. I'm still a super feminist.
You know, I just don't like the word, honestly. But we'll go ahead. I'm going to play what Khloe had to say, just so that for some those context. Of y'all who don't know, this was aired, I believe, on her Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She was talking about her blog. So here we go.
I 100% have a blog up, but who wouldn't? Like every relationship I go into, they're always disappointing and up. So I have every reason to be guarded. I have every reason to have these bricks up in layers. And if somebody cares enough, they will take those bricks down brick by brick.
All right.
Damn.
So basically,
I just want the record to show that Liv just bodied her whole life.
Because for me to get through that sound bite.
So basically, piano. I want to know who played piano.
I don't know
in that clip. Who played piano? Because I need some piano. When I be talking, I need somebody to play that kind of dramatic ass piano shit behind me when I'm trying to make a melancholy ass point. I need that.
So basically, to summarize what she had to say, she said that she's had so many fucked up relationships that ended badly that any man who now dates her has to tear down her walls and pretty much put up with the trauma that she has from her past relationships. And I kind of just wanted to ask y'all, I know you're in a relationship now, Liv, you're single. We also can't talk about you getting dick anymore because the male fans were upset.
You broke hearts.
They don't want you to be pleased unless it's
God.
They don't want you to have a salary cap. They don't want you to have dick. I don't understand. What are y'all bringing to the table?
Why can't I have things?
Are y'all coming with a PS5 or nah?
Y'all better buy me a PS5.
What can she have?
From DMs in the comments, they was so mad that you talked about getting dick last week.
How dare you be sexually active, you mother?
Oh my God.
How dare you?
No, that shit was funny. But I wanted to ask, again, if you've had bad relationships and if you feel like you bring those into your current relationship.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. That's baggage, but it's not on purpose. You don't bring that shit in on purpose, and most of the time you don't know that it's trauma and it's triggering until some shit hits the fan, and then you like, oh shit, this wasn't supposed to go this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't always happen that way. I think she's setting herself up for failure. Going into it saying, well, you know, I have these walls up, and anybody who loves me, like, anybody who cares enough is gonna. Nah, you gotta care enough, sis. Right. You gotta care enough to work on that shit, unpack, and honestly. Stop getting into fucking relationships. Sit your ass down.
I think it may also have something to do though, with the type of men. Like, to me, I feel like if you find yourself always in bad relationships, a part of it isn't you blaming all of the men you've been in relationships with, but I think you need to self-reflect on what things you brought into those relationships. And something about what you're doing, to me, has to change. Like, I just don't, I hate that anytime something goes south, you're putting the blame on all these niggas not being shit. And it's crazy because me and my partner in dating, when we first started dating, he was like, do you even like niggas? Just off of like a lot of the things I would say about men. And I would give off that energy. But yes, it's maybe because I've had men treat me certain ways. Like, and I was just always scared of him ghosting me or me showing my feelings.
Abandonment issues.
No, that for sure. Yeah. But also I felt karma was coming because I'm one of those that ghosts men. As soon as you do something that's wrong, there's nothing to talk about. I also don't like conflict. We talked about the Libra traits.
You don't like confrontation.
But to me, it was a part where if I really wanted this to work, there were things that I realized in my past dealings that I couldn't bring into this if I wanted it to be successful. Yeah. So I think as women, though, we gotta do something about that.
I actually wrote a book last year.
Wow!
On this
How
subject.
Are we finding out about this?
Why didn't we know about this beforehand? Oprah's book club.
You know, because I do a lot of shit. And that was one of the shit that I did because I have like a bucket list of things that I...
Why don't we have a stack of those on the table next to our
it's an ebook. It's an ebook. It's not an actual physical copy book, but it's an ebook. I wrote a book in 2000, well, I want to say 18. It was the last year. I can't remember. I do so many things. But the book is called The Games We Should Play. It's a small read. It's maybe like literally like a 2-hour flight type of read.
Okay.
It's an essay most likely, but yeah, it's on Amazon, guys. But
wow,
it's a chapter by chapter book telling you how to work on yourself and better yourself before getting into relationships.
Right.
And the whole play on the games we should play. Each chapter pretty much analyzes a different game, like chess. It's chess, not checkers.
Right.
Like, analyze yourself. And when you're a chess player, you should always play with yourself to know all of your best moves. So you know what moves to make when you're playing against an opponent. So it's about learning yourself, understanding there's no such thing as fuckboys. If you're dating a fuckboy, that means you are a fuckboy because we mirror our partners.
Oh, don't say
so. Whatever
the
he's
girl's gonna be mad at
whatever
this.
mirror he's putting up.
Oh, listen, they already
in
tried
front of
to
you?
drag me after I said you're responsible for the shit you tolerate. I said, yeah,
exactly.
Oh,
so,
is that why I was always dating hoes?
Yeah.
Because I date a lot of community penis.
Yeah.
And now,
they put the mirror up in front of you.
Maybe I was community and I didn't even know.
So whatever you're doing, that person is gonna mirror it. So if you talking about fuckboy this and fuckboy that, and he ain't shit, and he did this and all this stuff or whatever, you need to take a look at your fucking self, miss, and understand what the fuck you doing to allow these things to happen on a consistent basis. It can't be them all the time.
But also the thing to consider is, and I know a lot of women that this has happened to, you could actually be dealing with men that ain't shit. And there's a strong possibility. Not always.
You really think so?
Not always.
Yes.
Not always.
Okay, break it
I
down.
don't agree with that.
Why not?
I don't agree with that. Because I think that sometimes men have good intentions and then they get into a situation and they change their mind. It happens with women too. It's like, never mind, I don't really want to be here. Also, we really gotta draw the line because it is a very thin line between what ain't shit is and just what doesn't work in your favor, right?
Oh. Okay.
Because that's not the same thing. To me, you can be in a situation with a man that ain't shit, but you could also be in a situation with a man that is worth shit. He just didn't do what you wanted him to do. He just didn't show up in the relationship the way you wanted him to show up because that's just he changed his mind and that wasn't what he wanted.
And he also shows you early with red flags.
Correct.
But let's not
and
talk
because you have on rose-colored glasses, your ass ain't seeing them red flags early to make your exit out. Yeah. Like, it can't be everybody. I do agree with you to an extent.
So in my mind, I look at this situation with Khloe where to the point where, yes, she has been in relationships where she has been taken advantage of several times. And I know what that feels like because you overextend. When you love somebody, you care about somebody, you go the distance for them because that's how you love. That's how you participate in the relationship.
But you want to know what my favorite word in the English language is? Insanity. What it is doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result.
Sorry, I like all the words.
But because I like what it stands for, because that's the thing. A lot of us do the same thing over and over again. We deal with the same type of men and we expect a different result. That literally is the definition of insanity.
But I don't think she's dealt with the same type of men.
Bro,
yes,
James
the fuck
Harden,
she has.
French Montana.
Are we counting those as actual relationships though?
She was in relationships with them. Yes.
French was a relationship.
She was out with Harden. Then you have Lamar.
Being out with some, I know, but
like
my
now
thing
you have
is,
Tristan Thompson, Lamar Odom. You're dealing with a lot of the same
Lamar,
type of men.
Lamar also had addiction issues. He had substance abuse
and
going on.
we don't think that the other guys don't.
Tristan don't have sex addiction issues.
I was going to say Harden
I
because that's
think a lot of men have sex addiction issues.
Yeah, but you're dealing with men with addiction.
But it's addiction.
Maybe it's not addiction. What I'm saying is, all men are not the same. I'm agreeing with you on that. All men are not the same.
But I think that there are types of men.
Right.
Maybe, but I mean,
there are
still
types
not.
Of men.
Yeah, but how do you group it? You group in one characteristic with a type of man.
Here's my thing. I'm gonna go back to the fuckboy thing. You're calling such and such that you dated a fuckboy. Oh, he did this and he cheated and he was out here talking to other women and stuff like that. Fuckboy doesn't necessarily have to mean just that. The way he's reflecting that on you and you're the fuckboy is you're expecting somebody to come in and you're looking at their potential. That's how you're a fuckboy. You're expecting somebody to change for you.
Yeah.
That's how you're a fuckboy. So it doesn't necessarily have to be, oh, Tristan is just like Lamar is just like James.
I don't think...
No, they're different people, clearly, but they all have something in common that she's attracting because she has not worked on herself to make sure sure she's better. There's no way that she can become a better person by staying and dealing with Tristan and understanding, okay, yeah, he gonna fuck up sometimes and embarrass the shit out of me, but you know what? He's the father of my child. We're gonna make it work. There's no way.
I hate that.
And that's no way.
That's the thing that I think women don't do, that men are really good at doing. They compartmentalize women more. We go into dating as if this man has to be my boyfriend. This man is going to be my husband. This man, as soon as we date someone, we think of all the things we want out of them in a relationship. We project without really noticing that, okay, maybe this man is only someone who's really good for conversation, but I'm not sexual. Like, we want men to be the full package as soon as we meet them. And as soon as they're not, we still just try to look at the potential and hope that they fill out the buckets that we want. Like, here's my thing. We do that. We do it so well with our friends. We know which homegirls we can go to the club with. Right. We know which homegirls we can bring around our men. We know which homegirls we can go to, that we can talk on the phone for hours with. Yeah. We don't treat men that way. We think that each man is supposed to be our best friend. We don't look at all women as our best friend. So we have to find a way to compartmentalize our relationships and what we go into dealing with men as. We can't think that they're all going to be our best friends because we don't even look at women that way. Right. And we know that no woman can be our best friend except for however many we have.
I also think there's something to be said about women with a certain status and feeling the need to find somebody that matches the status. Okay. That's when you said that about a certain type. I think as women, it's unfortunate that we get caught up in this idea that whatever level we're at, we have to have some, even aesthetically, even on a superficial level, they have to match us, right? Right. And I just think that superficially, we sell ourselves short. It's like, why is that the standard? Because all the people that y'all named were all professional athletes.
Or rappers,
but rappers. It's like they're all in entertainment, and they all have money. They all have an incredible amount of access to every level of women. So, you're setting yourself up to deal with more of a headache than you really should have to, considering what you bring into the table. But I agree with you. I think overall, women have to stop. Women have to stop expecting men to break the walls down. That's not their job. That's nobody else's job. Sis, your man is not your therapist. Your man is not your therapist.
And you're not his.
Right. And you are not. We are not rehab centers. And they are not rehab centers either. Yeah. We have to stop doing that shit. That's a turnoff.